Hello everyone, it's Thomas GGB, and at this point in time, there is a little over a month until Transformers Bumblebee comes out in theaters. So, in celebration and to lead up to the release of the movie, I'm going to be taking a look at the past 5 Movieverse movies that preceded it, and will be giving my thoughts on each of them. Now, of course, let's just get right into it and begin with Transformers 2007. Before we get into it, I just want to preface this entire series. I grew up with these movies and actually quite enjoyed them, so expect this to be very opinionated. So we all have opinions, so please don't go off on anyone in the comments if they disagree with you. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I think we should start with some positives with the movie, because honestly there are a lot of positives and I think they outweigh the negatives. So obviously the visuals in this are just very good. The CGI is all really good, and the sound design is also really cool. That weird kind of glitch effect that they use with blackout, it's really cool. They use it throughout the movie, very cool. The opening with the blackout attack is really cool. I really enjoy it. It really sets a tone for the movie. It really makes you like see how powerful the Transformers are in this universe, and really kind of again like sets stuff up. We get Scorponok going in. It sets up kind of the hacking thing, which I don't really like, but I'll get into that later. That's an iconic moment in this. There are also a lot of iconic moments in this, but that's mostly due to this being the first Transformers movie since 1986. So, for example, the Autobots arrival scene, really cool, very iconic. The Bumblebee barricade rivalry that carried on for just another movie, kind of, sort of, not really, but that's been kind of a thing people have been talking about. The infamous mute Bumblebee is in this movie, and maybe it's not iconic, but it's definitely played a part in basically every other Transformers continuity. So call it what you want, it's definitely had a lasting impression. And along with that, there's a lot of references to other Transformers movies, such as, you know, they say more than meets the eye a lot. It's a little on the nose, but my favorite reference is that Frenzy is in this, but he's not with Soundwave because there is no Soundwave, but he's still a mini-con just for barricade. But instead of turning into a cassette, he turns into the boombox, and he even launches out discs that are kind of sort of like Soundwave's cassettes. So in this one, Frenzy's basically the Soundwave cassette in this. So that's pretty cool. I like that. You kind of have to pay attention to that, but I really like that. And as I said, the beginning is really cool. And another beautiful part is basically after Bumblebee reveals himself, the movie really kicks itself into high gear, because then we got a lot of Transformers action, a lot of moments. I love the scene where the Autobots are trying to hide in Sam's house. That's like, here are the Transformers, but we're not really getting into the action yet. I really like that. That's a nice balance. I also really like the Autobots attacking Sector 7 in the beginning. That's really cool as well. Kind of shows them trying to protect the humans. And the Mission City Siege, or the third act, is really awesome. It's a really great combination of human action and Transformers action, which is obviously what you came here for, but they obviously had to stick some human stuff in there. So it's a really great mix. So I think that third act is really cool. Speaking of humans, Sam is a decent protagonist. He's not obviously the greatest main human character in Transformers, but I think using him as a high schooler is a great vessel to show kind of what's going on with, you know, the wonder that's going on here. So I think that's a really good idea. I thought it worked well for this first movie, and, you know, there were some things about Sam that you could connect to, like him trying to get a car and like looking out for the car. So stuff like that you could connect to. And another great thing about this is the small Transformers cast. There's only like 5 Autobots and like 5 Decepticons, I think. There's not a lot with the Decepticons, but with 5 Autobots, they each have a certain personality about them that I think works really well and sets it apart from the later movies. But now let's talk about the negatives, because there are a few negatives with this movie that I think are pretty glaring. It kind of sets the movie down for a lot of people. For the most part, the biggest one is that after the awesome blackout intro, it kind of gets boring afterwards. Like literally from Blackout's intro to I think Barricade's first appearance, there's like no Transformers stuff going on except for the little part with Bumblebee transforming and transmitting his signal. Until then, there's like really nothing that goes on, and that's like a good hour of the movie. So basically half of the movie is kind of just boring, okay, you know, human stuff. It does work well with the characters, but it's kind of boring. which also leads into the standard complaint with the Transformers movies, which is there's too much humans going on. I think this one has the best balance, probably. At least I haven't seen the other ones yet, but this one has a good balance of humans and Transformers. But I still think, again, that hour, it's kind of like too much of humans, but it's decent setup. But I think we could have cut that down because the characters of Maggie and Glenn, I think their names are, the hackers, I don't understand why we needed that plot. It's just kind of pointless because, like, they don't do anything. Like, they show, I mean, they do, yeah, like, you could take them out and it's the same movie. Like, Lennox kind of gives you a connection to the military. Lennox and Sam obviously you need that connection with the Autobots, Bumblebee, Sam and Michaela. But those two just they don't do anything. I don't understand, like, really their purpose in the movie. I think you could have gotten rid of them through some cuts and editing and the movie would be fine. They don't really contribute anything. Another part with humans doing too much, in my opinion, is there's some parts with the humans that I think we could have really spent with the robots. Like, it's not like, oh, why are we spending time with the humans? When, like, very obviously there's a part that we could be spending with the robots. The biggest examples I can think of is the Bumblebee and Barricade fight. They're off fighting, and instead we see Sam and Michaela fight off Frenzy, which is kind of a ridiculous scene as well. And then we see them beat Frenzy, and then we cut to Bumblebee, or then they're walking up, and they see Bumblebee walk out with his cannon out, and it's like, oh, that would have been nice to see how Bumblebee beat Barricade, but no, we're just gonna see how Sam is fighting Frenzy with his boxers off. Maybe if they cut between the two fights, that would have been, well, that would have worked well in my opinion, maybe. But just, we stayed with Sam and Michaela that whole time. That was kind of dumb. And the other part that kind of made me think of this was that we see Lennox and the military trying to fight Blackout, and they're just kind of talking into radios and like, alright, get the guy with the green dot on him. And then you literally see in the background Optimus and Megatron like throwing down, that we only saw a little bit in Mission City. Why didn't we focus on Optimus and Megatron throwing down and just have that have that Blackout and Lennox thing going on in the background? We didn't need to spend the time with the military when Optimus and Megatron are literally less than like 10 feet away from them. So I don't know. And then the last big complaint is just kind of Michael Bay humor. The biggest example is the Bumblebee lubricant scene, and that's all I'll say. That's in a Transformers movie, guys. I don't know what to say. But, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed watching Transformers 1 again. I hadn't seen it in a while, and it was really nice to see it again. Obviously, it really hit me into the nostalgia. But, honestly, it has a lot of faults, but I think the pros outweigh it, this one specifically. So I think it's really good. It's currently sitting at the top of the Transformers movie ranking list for me because it's the only one we've taken a look at so far. So we're going to take a look at the other ones in the upcoming weeks. Let me know your thoughts on Transformers 2007 down in the comment section. And for more Transformers videos, please consider hitting that big fat subscribe button. And I hope to see you next time when we take a look at Revenge of the Fallen. Thank you for watching.